Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today's video I'm going to share a little bit about my birth plan. So I'm the kind of person that I like planning, and with my birth wasn't different. So even before I got pregnant, I already had some ideas of things that I wanted for my birth. And once I did get pregnant, I started really researching, like everything that I could possibly think of, like what is better for the baby, um, regarding like vaccines, uh, feeding, like everything. And so, based on my research, I started planning and putting together my birth plan. And I've always wanted like the most natural possible birth, minimum interventions or no interventions at all. Like I was even considering home birth, but I ended up going to a hospital because that's where my doctor was. But I really wanted the most natural experience. But a little bit before, probably like when I was 30 weeks or so, I started taking a class called Natural Childbirth, and that was really helpful because I didn't have a doula, so I felt like I really needed to know what to do, during birth. And in that class, like they were teaching us about like breathing techniques, positions, even in your mindset, how to have the mindset of like believing in your body and letting your body do the work. So I was really hopeful, and I really thought I was gonna have, the most natural birth and with no medication, no interventions, no anything. But in that class, they made us do an exercise where you have different cards, and each card was some intervention that you didn't necessarily want, so like maybe like C-section, IV, things like that. And then, so throughout the exercise, it was like you have 10 cards. Now you have to pick two. They are the ones that you definitely don't want in your birth. So you would pick two. Those two would not be a part of your birth. And then next round, you have to pick two more that were not a part of your birth. And at the end, you were left with 2 or 3 cards. And those were like some interventions that you might not agree with from the beginning when you planned your birth plan, but maybe during the procedure, during how things were going, how your body was progressing, maybe those things were necessary. And so it was an exercise to help us to be okay with unexpected things, like even though I was doing everything I could to have the perfect birth, sometimes it's not possible. So that was my experience. So as I said, like I was doing a lot of research. I had my birth plan like very detailed, and while doing the birth plan, I was like taking care of myself. So I was exercising regularly, using the pregnancy ball to like stretch my body and stuff, open up my cervix, having my supplements, drinking a lot of water, eating well, sleeping well. So I was doing everything I could, right? But once my baby was about, I think, 36 weeks, we found out that I had to be induced on the next week. And so moving forward, fast forward, I did get induced at 37 weeks because that was like my option. I could move forward with believing for a natural birth with no induction. However, given my situation, that would increase the risk of needing a C-section. So I was like, okay, what do I prefer? Do I prefer to risk having a C-section, or do I prefer to be induced? And I chose to be induced because my baby was already full term. So anyways, with the induction, that was already not a part of my plan at all. And so I needed the medication to like start the contractions and stuff because I was only 1 centimeter dilated. So anyways, took the medication. That was already not a part of my plan. Being induced, it was not a part of my plan. And with the induction, my contractions were really, really heavy, and my body was not, it wasn't understanding, right, that I was like ready to have that baby. So because of it, I wasn't dilating as much as I should. And I waited many hours before choosing an epidural. So again, epidural was not a part of my plan. And my baby, when he was born, he was low weight, so he had to be brought to the NICU, and they had to give him a bottle right away, and bottles were not a part of my plan. So anyways, all this to share that even though I had the perfect plan, things did not go as expected. And so in that moment, I had to learn to let go of control and just choose what I have left to choose, So I had to be okay with it. I had to choose what at that moment would make more sense. It was the healthiest and safest option for me and for my baby. So now looking back, yeah, like I'm happy with the outcome because I have a healthy baby. I still had an awesome experience. But I just want to encourage you guys that even if things do not go as planned, just do everything you can to make somehow a little bit of how you wanted it to be. So now after my baby is born, I'm making choices that I feel like are best for him, things that I can choose, like regarding his health or his education. Like we want to homeschool him. So later on, like he's only 5 months now, but later on, like we're gonna be dealing with that. So I just want to encourage that even if things did not go as planned, even if you had the perfect birth plan, you were preparing yourself, you were doing everything you could, and still things did not go as you wanted them to, it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, having a healthy baby and a healthy mama are the most important things. So yeah, guys, that was my experience. Now I can say that I don't regret anything. I don't regret taking the epidural. I don't regret the induction because I don't know what could have happened if I wouldn't have made those choices. And at least now I have a good situation. I'm in a healthy situation. So I can say that those things were worth it. And so for my next baby, of course, I will try again. I will prepare my body again. I will have probably the same birth plan. And I will try my best again to have the most natural birth possible. But it's not because this one was not, it was a failure. No, it was not a failure. So just because your birth did not go exactly how it was described in your birth plan, that doesn't mean that you can still make choices with the options that are presented to you, with your situation, So don't see as if it was like a total failure just because everything did not go as you thought that it was gonna go or you hoped for. And also, if we look at the bigger picture, the birth is just one moment out of many years that we'll have to make choices on behalf of our babies and our kids. And so don't stress too much about it. That's what God was speaking to me. Like let go of control and just try to make the best that you can make with the situation that are presented to you. So I know that sometimes things don't go as we plan. So that's why I just want to share what happened to me and encourage moms out there that might be going through the same situation. So yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you felt encouraged. If you like contents like this, please subscribe for more. Have an awesome week. See you. Bye-bye.